Hi friends, welcome on YourPedia, the platform which you can use for any kind of environment related exam. And this video is related to one topic which is in biodiversity. That biodiversity, mega biodiversity nation India is, and out of 36 mega diversity nations, India is one of the nations. And hot biodiversity hotspots. We have no, out of 17, India is one of the nations, and there are 36 biodiversity hotspots, out of which India has 4 biodiversity hotspots. So we are going to discuss what is the meaning of biodiversity, mega biodiversity nations, and what is biodiversity hotspot, and 4 biodiversity hotspots in India. And this my video is related to the exam of assistant environment engineer in Telangana and Andhra Pradesh. So we are expecting this exam to be in August or later than August in 2026. So this was the vacancy, friend. As you know, this is the job calendar of Andhra Pradesh Public Service Commission. 30 seats were advertised, and Telangana 19 seats were advertised. So this is the topic, biodiversity and biotech resources. That is the out of 10 topics, this is the third topic which is given in your syllabus. And India is a mega diversity nation and hotspots of biodiversity. That is what today's lecture is. And we will be starting with the previous year questions what was asked. So by the time you complete the topic, you will be in position to solve these previous year questions. So this question is from biogeographic zones. That is a question it is created, but it is different zones, and what is the meaning of this, where these are. This kind of questions was asked, and from the this biodiversity regions, like this is biodiversity hotspots. That is the definition of the biodiversity hotspot. What do we mean by that? So previous year questions asked from this, and yes, biodiversity hotspots in India, there are 4 biodiversity hotspots in India. From there, this kind of questions can be matched, the following kind of questions can be asked. So in Andhra Pradesh and Telangana, the question pattern is like one of the 4 answers can be correct, match the following can be there, reason assertion can also be there, 3 statements followed by 4 answer choices, that can also be there. So in this document, you will get practice question on the basis of each format. You will get 1 question and 4 choices. You will get match the following, something like this. You will get reason assertion. You will get 3 choices, 3 statements, 1, 2, 3 statements, and 4 choices. Any of the 2 or 3 or 1 choice can be correct. So that practice you can do. Now let's start with biodiversity. So biodiversity, I have explained this term many times, and I have told you how to understand this term. Bio means living things. Living things means microorganism, plant, animals, human being, birds, marine, living things like fish, anything. So whatever is having living, organisms, whatever are the living organisms, they are biotech. So bio term comes from there. Diversity is variety. So different kind of species, varieties, genetic difference between each species, that is biodiversity. Now biodiversity, India is one of the very rich country in biodiversity, and it is among the mega biodiversity nations. Why? Because India is very close to equator. Tropic of Cancer goes through India, and India is very close to equator. And I will tell you at the end of the lecture that there is a latitudinal, there is a latitudinal variation. If you see, the 0-degree latitude is equator. As you go from equator to poles, the biodiversity decreases. So maximum biodiversity is near equator, because on near equator, your temperature, humidity, water availability, and all thing is conducive for more biodiverse species, right? So India is highly biodiverse because of its proximity to equator also. So and another reason is, and on one side of India is the Himalayas, on another side there is a coastal region. India is surrounded by the seas, coastal region is there. So because of this different kind of vegetation, Himalayas, then desert, then coastal region, so India is highly biodiverse nation. Now India is among the 36 biodiversity hotspots in the world. So there are 36 biodiversity hotspots. Now what is a biodiversity hotspot? That also I will discuss with you. India has 4 among 36 biodiversity hotspots which are found in the world. And India is ranked 9th in terms of plant species richness. So be very, very careful. This ranking is related to what? Is this ranking related to biodiversity richness, or this is related to plant diversity richness? So he's mentioning plant species richness. Plant species. Plant is one of the species. I'm not talking about biodiversity, entire biodiversity. I'm talking about the plants only. Plant is one of the biospecies. Another biospecies are animals, birds, marine species. So there are other species also. So it is very, very important biodiverse region, because there are so many things like these are the different kind of plants you have, and highly domesticated species are also there. One of the very, very diverse. So hotspots in India are these Himalayas, Western Ghats, Indo-Burman region, Sunda land. We are going to discuss these in detail. What are these? So the map you can see Himalayas, these are the regions which you can see, and Sunda land is Andaman Nicobar this side. So this green is not visible here. So this is Himalayas, Indo-Burma, this is Western Ghats. Sunda land is this entire area, Andaman Nicobar, and this Asian nations this side. We'll discuss that. So what is mega diverse nation? Highly diverse nation is called mega. Mega means very, very high. So large, big, and then mega, you understand? So mega diverse nation is that nation which has majority of Earth's species and very, very endemic species. Now, what is endemic species? I have defined this term endemic species also. Endemic species means something which is available only there, something which is available only in that area, not other places. Endemic means specific to that area, right? Pandemic means everywhere. Pandemic, COVID was pandemic, started from Wuhan in China and then spread to rest of the world. Pandemic everywhere, endemic only to that particular place. So endemic is only found there. So 17 biologically richest countries have 10% of the area but 70% of the world biodiversity. So there are 17 such mega diverse nations in the world. Names also you see in different continents. India is one of these countries. Out of 17, India is one mega diverse nation. And these 17 mega diverse nations, geographically they are occupying 10% of the area of globe. Of the planet Earth, only 10%, but 70% of the biodiversity is in these countries basically. So these countries were basically the name of mega diverse countries came in Conservation International, CI it is called. In 1988, Conservation International, that is the organization, said that these are the mega diverse countries. The concept came up. And these are from tropical rainforest, very, very dense, to coral reefs. So all kind of. So India has tropical rainforest also, and India has coral reefs also to some extent. So there is a reason Andaman Nicobar is a entirely different vegetation. Himalayas is entirely different vegetation. Rajasthan desert is entirely different vegetation. So that kind of different biodiversity domains are there. So how do you classify country as a mega diverse? What should be the criteria? Highly species richness. I mean, you should have plant, animal, marine life, different kind of things. Highly species rich. Then high endemism. I mean, endemism is 5,000 species of endemic plants. That means only available in India. Endemic means only available in that country. So that is also one of the reasons. I mean, out of 70 mega diverse countries, if India is one of the countries, that means India has certain species which are only available in India, not in other countries. So we have 5,000. Diverse ecosystem. Our ecosystem is tropical rainforest to savannas to coral reefs to wetland. We have that. Marine presence, yes. So we have marine ecosystem, Arabian Sea and Bay of Bengal and Indian Ocean. So we have that. So these are the mega diverse countries, friends. You can see, you can stop the video and you can see which countries are these. So you have to just go through it. You have to see that. So I have taken it from maps of the world, this particular map, and you can see this different countries like India, United States, China, Philippines. These all countries are mega diverse. So 17 mega diverse nations. So LMCC like-minded mega diverse countries. So these are Americas, Africa and Middle East, Asia, Oceania. This is how it is divided. So just go through it once, because I don't know, I mean, question can be asked, which of the following is not a mega diverse nation? There are 17, like sustainable development goals are 17. So sometime question comes, which one is the sustainable development goal? Which one is climate change is which goal, which number? Climate change is which number? Answer is 13 number. 13 is the climate change. So which number is clean water? Which number is poverty? Which number is hunger? Sustainable development goal. Similarly, question can be asked, which of the following is not a mega biodiverse nation? So mega diverse country should have what? These house largest indices of biodiversity. I discussed with you the various indices which are used to measure the biodiversity. So there are index, there is index which is used to measure the biodiversity. So which of the indices, how many indices are basically largest indices are fulfilled by these particular countries? So this country is good in this indices also, this index also, something like that. So number of endemic species, I told you, like, you should have endemic species, something which is only available in your country, not in other countries. Concept was first given by Russell. This fellow was giving this particular concept, mega diverse concept. The mega diverse concept first time was given by him, and 10% of the earth space are covered by these countries, but 70% of the entire diversity. And United Nations program, World Conservation Monitoring Center of United Nations Environment Program. You know, United Nations Environment Program head office is in Nairobi, that is Kenya. So United Nations Environment Program's World Conservation Monitoring Center identified these 17 countries. So these are the 17 countries, and then some more countries basically are also getting added slowly into this. So Cancun Declaration, group of similar mega diverse countries, we have discussed about this. That is how these countries are basically categorized. Then characteristic, what is a characteristic? I have discussed with you. Endemic plants should be there, marine ecosystem should be there, geographical position should be near tropical areas. Most are in tropical areas. It is not that it should be, because the tropical areas give you maximum biodiversity. That is the reason in India, out of 4 hotspots in India also, something towards towards the Arabian Sea, where towards the equator, these hotspots are, you see they are more in biodiversity. So Western Ghats, if somebody asks you Himalayas versus Western Ghats versus Andaman Nicobar, so you will say Western Ghats have maximum biodiversity. Why? Because evergreen forest, tropical vegetation, hot and humid areas, that gives more biodiversity. Isolation means some islands were isolated, as you know, plate tectonics. So in the beginning, entire world land mass area was together, and then plate tectonics, and then some continents got separated. So when some continents got separated, maybe the vegetation prevalent in those continents remained with that only. So they got isolated, and we have now endemic species. So larger the size, greater is the diversity. Evolutionary history is also one of the criteria, and culture, plants and animals contribute to this particular thing. So that is the characteristic of mega diverse countries. That is the typical culture. India as mega biodiversity nation. So India is one of the world's 17 mega diverse nations. 7 to 8% of world's recorded species are there in India, and India has only 2.4% of the area of the world. As you know, India is the 7th largest nation in the world, occupying 2.5% approximately geography area. So India has this much of the area of entire world, and India is 7th largest area wise, 7th largest. So you can remember it that way. 7 to 8% of the recorded biodiversity is in India. So out of total biodiversity, 7 to 8% biodiversity belongs to India, and India is only occupying 2.4% of the land mass. These are some of the other reasons. So 5,000 species are highly endemic. So but 45,000 plants species with a high endemism in Western Ghat and Himalayas. And out of plant species we are only talking about. So there are some bird species, mammal species which are very, very endemic to India. That is the reason India is in the biodiversity mega biodiverse nation. The reasons why India is a mega diverse nations, these are some of the reasons. Geographic and climate variety. India, you see, from alpine peaks of Himalayas, you start from Himalayas, the weather in Himalayas is entirely different. If I talk about many countries, if you talk about other countries like, say, Sri Lanka, you talk about Singapore, you talk about Southeast Asian nations, you talk about Arabian nations, you'll find the same weather entire country. But that is not there in India. You go to Rajasthan, you go to Himalayas, you go to Tamil Nadu, you go to West Bengal, you go to Northeast, you will find different vegetation, different kind of weather. So high alpine Himalayas to deserts, to river plains, to tropical coastline, you get the different kind of vegetation. Global biodiversity hotspots, out of 36, India has these 4. Now Himalayas are famous for snow leopard, red panda. Western Ghats are famous for something else, reptiles, amphibians, elephants. Indo-Burma is famous for something else. Sunda land, Andaman Nicobar, unique marine biodiversity is there. So India has this. Rich agriculture and genetic diversity. So 8, Vavillovian, that was a scientist actually. This scientist, on the name of this scientist, there is a Vavillovian centers. That means specific geographical region around the world where greatest genetic diversity of particular crop and its wild relative is found. So it is related to genetic diversity of particular crop. So that crop is basically that particular area where that crop and it's a similar type of crop gets a diversity. So some crops start growing along with other crops and they become similar and then they become endemic actually. That is the theory. So India has 8 such centers in our country, and that gives a lot of diversity to India. And India is also evolutionary hub for thousands of crops and livestock and different kind of plants. 30 wild basically plants are there which actually are in India. So genetic diversity and rich agricultural diversity is there in India. Ecosystem diversity also, biogeographic zones, different ecosystem like tropical rainforest, deciduous forest, wetland, mangroves, coral reef, grassland, alpine meadows, deserts, coastal. So these all are there in India. That is ecosystem diversity. Ecological system. What is ecological system? I told you in another class also. When I was teaching you ecosystem, I told you ecosystem means particular type of vegetation, particular type of weather. I give you example, forest. I give you example, desert. I give you example, pond, lake, coastal area. So different kind of. So India has this different kind of ecosystem, and variety of ecosystem is called ecosystem diversity. We have ecosystem diversity. We have very rich agriculture diversity. We have biodiversity hotspots. So that is the reason India is in the mega diverse country. What is endemic? Endemism. Endemism is the presence of species that is native to that area only. So flora and fauna. Flora is related to flower or plants. So 5,000 species we have got. This number may not be very important. Strictly the question may not come like how many. Fauna is like related to other like mammals and animals. So this is flower and plants. This is animals, flora and fauna. So India has these kind of very specific to India. So these are the 4 biodiversity hotspots in India, friends. So Sunda land, Indo-Burman, Himalayas, Western Ghat, and this map I have already shown you. So Sunda land is nothing but Southeast Asian. Southeast Asia. Southeast Asia means think of Andaman Nicobar and that side. So countries like Indonesia, Singapore, these are Sunda land. So World Biosphere Reserve basically designated all this as Sunda land. Very rich marine ecosystem. So ecologically richest region, there are different kind of plants and all. Indo-Burman is the region, basically where is the Indo-Burman is, and these are some of the animal species which are found only in this particular area. Hotspot is very famous for aquatic turtle species, and they are endangered because of overfishing. and these are some of the turtle species Indo-Burman region. As you know, some turtles are only found in India. So Himalayan region and Western Ghats. So Himalayan region is this world's highest mountain ranges with 9 out of 10 highest peaks, and the highest peak that is Mount Everest is also in the Himalayas. So you understand that this is Himalayas are called third pole. This is North Pole, South Pole, and Himalayas are called third pole because of the height. So northeast India, Bhutan, Nepal, so this entire is Himalayan region. 163 endangered species are there in Himalayan regions. So Himalayan region is facing a lot of challenge nowadays for climate change, because glaciers are melting, and that Himalayas are the source of fresh water for so many people. As you know, India is the most populated nation, so Himalayas becomes the source of fresh water for billions of people, right? So that is a challenge. Western Ghat, if somebody asks you out of 4 hotspots, which one is the most biodiverse in India, that is Western Ghat. Why? Because of its proximity to, I'll say, equator, and because of the weather. So this basically is the deciduous and rainforest, and it is a humid and tropical weather. The climate is humid and tropical, and that is a reason. And also elevation 1500 meter to 2000 meter also can go. That time we get temperate. So otherwise Western Ghat is hot and humid and tropical. But as altitude increases of particular area, particular place, as the altitude increases 1500 2000 meter, then the weather becomes temperate. So dense evergreen forest, semi evergreen forest are there. Shola grasslands are also there. So this is Western Ghat in India. Longitudinal diversity gradient, latitudinal diversity gradient. So let me tell you something about latitude. These lines are called latitude, horizontal lines. Vertical lines are called longitude. Longitude is seen to see what is the time zone. So for time zone we talk about longitude, but latitude we talk about for weather, we talk about latitude. Latitude is all about weather, what kind of weather we have, that is the latitude actually. Yeah, so weather is all latitude. So now see, latitude diversity gradient, one of the pattern actually, which says that maximum biodiversity is near equator. As you can see, maximum high diversity in equator. As you go towards the pole, diversity decreases. So biodiversity is highest in tropical region like equator, and as you go towards pole or temperate region, biodiversity decreases. So reason is more solar energy throughout the year, which leads to warm and stable climate, abundant rainfall, and nutrient rich environment. This is the reason why the biodiversity is near equator, and that is the reason why maximum biodiverse area in India is Western Ghats. So there is a complex interaction between plants, fungi, herbivores, predators, and other organisms, which creates ecological dedicated niches or dedicated places, ecological places. That is another reason why on equator you have more biodiversity. So tropical ecosystem such as rainforest have large variety of plant, animal, microorganisms. So question can come like where the biodiversity is more and why biodiversity is more here. That is how you should know it. And then questions, friends. So you have framed more than 50 questions for you from this topic. So this is 4 answers will be given. One of the answers will be correct type of question. Then reason assertion, so that kind of questions. Then match the following, this kind of question, and then 3 choices and answers. So these 4 types of question you can expect in your exam in Telangana and Andhra Pradesh from environmental domains. Prepare well with YourPedia, and I'm very sure you will crack this exam. Thank you.